Yes, good morning, good morning, good morning. Top of the morning. Happy Sunday. We got a lot to unpack, and I'm just going to take my time. I'm going to talk a little bit of boxing. Well, man, it's a lot to talk about, to blog about this Sunday morning. And that's what we are going to do. I'm going to get to this motion. Like I said, no rush today. I just got in from my pilgrimage with my dogs. I was looking for something. All right, I want to grab me a beverage, right? But yesterday, I'm gonna start off with boxing, then I'm gonna go a little bit of everywhere. Top of the morning, gumbo. Yesterday was so much boxing on that it was a beautiful thing. You had the pro box fight card. You had the OTX fight card. You had the PBC. So it was like, yes, a lot of people were calling me. I did not take no calls after a certain time. I didn't want to be distracted. I felt like I did enough blogging. Um, and I was just watching a lot of the fights. I had the laptop going, I had the TV going, and I had my phone going. So that's all I was just focused on. It wasn't like it was good fights, not no stuff that you'd be like, oh man, like a pay per view type call. But it was good action, right? We're gonna start all the way at the top. Um, Cordell Booker was stopped within 4 rounds. From the start of that fight, we've seen that boxing is levels, just like with anything in life. Um, Cordell Booker, good guy, solid dude, but there's levels for a reason, right? He made Sebastian Fondora, and you're gonna wake up today and listen to people that talk boxing. Um, they're gonna kick their stuff, what I like to call the sauce, and they're gonna make it seem like Sebastian Fondora is, that guy, which he is 6'7", stylistically is a nightmare for anybody at 154. But Cordell Booker is not an elite fighter. Cordell Booker, at best, is a little above a club fighter. So anytime you have a club fighter who's giving an opportunity at a world title shot and they not really like that, respectfully, that's what you're going to get. Um, I think, and I've been saying this for quite some time, the dark horse right now, 154 is my guy. Chip Tooth, like me, Charles Conwell. I think when Sebastian Fondora fights a Charles Conwell, if that ever happens, because this is boxing, you're going to see him really get pushed, right? But until then, if they keep matching him up stylistically with certain type of individuals, he's going to look like the Tower Inferno, like his name. Um, no disrespect to Cordell Booker, like I said, good dude. It's just levels, man. It's levels. Shout out to the 4 in the building, man. Hopefully y'all are hitting the like button, man. I know you guys was expecting me to come on to be on some other shit. Nah, we're going to talk boxing this morning. I liked it, the Pro Box card. Pro Box had a good card. A lot of mid-level fighters over there, right? I like what Pro Box does. They showcase a lot of fighters. To me, last night, right? If you watch the Pro Box card, it was a B&B card. A lot of B&B fighters. You had I believe he's from Guatemala. Shout out to him. He was the main event, but you also had the Davis brother was on there. You had Lolo Harris, right? Good fights, man. Good quality fights last night. I was watching a lot of that. Then you had Kurt Scooby. Yes, Scooby-Doo. Yeah, he called out. He called out Shakur Stevenson. Now, I want to put something out there, right? 6 minute mark, almost 7 minute mark. Why don't they let Kurt Scooby and the guy that called out Shakur Stevenson fight? Right? See, this is the problem with content creating and these guys that do this boxing on the internet, right? Whenever certain fighters are called out, you automatically want to run with a program narrative because you're programmed, right? This guy, it's 5'11", whatever, never fought nobody, right? Why don't him and Kurt Scooby fight? But you know why they won't fight? Because this is boxing, right? I want y'all to catch the sauce. I'm on here doing my thing, doing my weird thing, right? But why don't those two fight? But you know why those two won't fight? Because they need to call out a Shakur or a Keyshawn or guys like that to make the money. Right? Because contrary to what a lot of people say about Shakur or Keyshawn Davis, for certain guys, like Kurt Scooby, the other guy, Javier, whatever his name is, those guys are the ticket, right? They're the ticket. So they're going to call them out instead of fighting one another to really prove that they're worth it. Whereas, like when remember Canelo was telling guys, I think it was like David Benavidez at the time, was calling him out. And David was already a champion with a little bit of stats. And Canelo was like, nah, you got to fight Caleb Plant. You got to fight this guy. You got to fight that guy. It should be the same for these guys. But we don't do that. I don't know why. Especially as content creators, right? That's kind of weird, right? I'm going to stick with the weird shit. Since I'm weird, just have fun today. It's all content, right? But yeah, I would rather see those two guys fight, man. That's what I was thinking too when I was watching. I was like, I like Kurt Scooby. I know his handlers, his peoples and stuff. Good people, right? They moving them. But I was saying to myself, like, okay, he's stopping everything over there at the OTX. OTX got a good thing going too. Shout out to Dante Lane, my peoples, man. Dante's coach is like family. Team Tucker guy too. They came up, him and Jihad came up in the amateur system together. So Dante went the distance yesterday. A good fighter. Check him out. Super middleweight, 168, Dante Lane. Out of Elmont. Elmont is Long Island, borderline Queens. But shout out to Dante. I've been following him and his coach Kenyatta. Coach Ken, sturdy, good guy. I like Coach Kenyatta. He's a real coach. Old school coach. Like, he gives me that, the guys that I grew up in the gym around, no nonsense. They're going to get in your ass, right? Mean. The mean coach is like, damn, you can't come in here playing around. This is a gym, motherfucker, right? One of those type of guys. This is a gym, motherfucker. You ain't coming in here to play around. The real old coaches, right? Old school coaches, teachers. They was mean. They were disciplinary. They'll curse you out, right? Remember, yesterday I cursed at my daughter, and the guy was telling me, he jumped in here. He was like, that ain't parenting. No, nigga. My daughter was running out the house with a large sum of money, flashing it. Damn right I cursed out. You don't do that. You're drawing the wrong attention. You understand? But, you can't tell me how to parent, right? I'm old school, man. That's how my mother would have did to me. If that was me, and I came out the house and she told me to go in there and get something, an envelope or something, And then I come out doing that shoot. I probably would have got my ass whooped. I didn't whoop my daughter. I just, was strict and stern. But I remember the guy coming in my comments like, "Yo, get out of here." I'm weird though, We're gonna stick with that, man. Shout out to that guy too, right? But Kurt Scooby and Javier should fight, man. You feel me, Gumbo? That's what it should be, man. But like I said, certain people and certain fighters are allowed to be called out. Cause I remember when we was coming up, right? And Jihad did this when we was at 154, and people were saying, "Oh, yo, that's your clout chasing." Because at the time, Charlo was the man. Charlo was the man, right? And we called out Charlo, or Jihad did an interview. I forget what platform he was on at the time, and he was like, "Yeah, I'll fight Charlo." It's just like what the dude said about Shakur. But when Jihad said it, it was like, "Oh, why are you saying that?" No, at the end of the day, how that dude wants to fight Shakur, who was the champion, you're supposed to want to fight the champion. But just like they try to say about us, "Oh, you got to earn that." So this guy has earned it and he has fought nobody? Come on, man. That's why I say this game is weird, right? And when you call it out for being weird, it is weird. He said, "Shot, that's why children be disrespectful to their parents." Yes. No parenting. But you can't tell people, Gumbo. You just live your life. That's what I do, man. And the one thing I do, I live my life and I share my experiences on the internet. And the internet, one thing about the internet is this is one of the worst things in society. Because if you are different on the internet, right? Studies show that you will not be placed in certain demographics, the algorithms, things like that, because you don't fit the bill. Hopefully y'all caught that source, right? But yeah, a lot of fights, man. Terrell Goucher, I want to say this, man. Shout out to you and your coach, Safo. You won that fight to me, and I bet against you. I thought you was going to get stopped. You dropped the dude. This is why boxing to me is dirty. The Elijah Garcia kid that you're fighting is touted to be something. You, like I said, you're on your back nine. So it's like you was supposed to be a name now on his resume. And you are. You lost the fight, split decision, but I gonna come on here and talk. You really won that fight to me. I watched it. You dropped him. You boxed excellent. But that's basically been your career. You was an Olympian, a good guy, man. I think he was an Al Heyman guy. Still might be. And you fought a good fight, man. Your coach, another good a teacher, Safo, man. I had the pleasure of sitting with him, interviewed him a couple times, man. First time I interviewed him was in Toledo, Ohio. And then I interviewed him here in New York. He's also with Tiger, but he has moved on to Prentice. Is one of his guys and stuff. But he's a fixture out there in the Cleveland area. Coach Safo, look him up, right? Good guy. You see I throw out names of real players in the game. I talked about Coach Kenyatta, Rockaway Ropes. Now I'm talking about Coach Safo. These are people that I really come on, man, but it is what it is, man. I'm like so cool, right? Real talk, I'm cool, man. Cause I know I scare a lot of people. Cause like what my brother just said right here, if you are different and you tell the truth, not your opinion, you are called weird. I get it, man. Listen, I've been like this my whole life, Gumbo. You know what it is? I just and I want to say rest in peace to my mother, right? She always told me that I was anointed. And anointed people are always going to have that because you aren't a sellout. You're not a punk, right? You're not going to shy away when something is wrong and you know it's wrong. You're going to be like, nah. You're a whistleblower. You're going to be like, hold up, man. Nah, it ain't the same sandwich. You're going to be like my man is strapped. Right? You're going to be like, yo, can I get that same sandwich? And you watch him make his sandwich, right? And then he's making your sandwich. You're like, hold up, man. Yo, my shit is sloppy, bro. I just watched you. You perfected this dude's joint. That's why I said, let me get the same sandwich. You ain't even piling the meat on my joint. The lettuce, come on, man. It's not the same sandwich. If you're that guy that's on that type of time, of course, like Gumbo just said, you are going to be called weird. But meanwhile, the dudes that are weird, like, come on, respectfully, you are the weird ones, man. Right? You are. But, if you say that about somebody, you be like, oh, you're a punk, you're a sucker, you're this, you're that. Then that's when they, oh, you're a bully, you're this, you're that. Sometimes you just got to take the high road. You take the high road. Like I did yesterday, I took the high road. But I had a moment where I was able to show my growth. Right? My growth. That's why I'm using my daughter right there as my thumbnail, or the picture that you see. That was one of my proudest moments as a man, as a father, because when I started out doing media over about 16 years ago, I took a lot of ridicule in, like I do today. But look what it paid off to, right? Before being 12 years old. She's in the 6th grade now. She was in the 5th grade right there, shooting at Madison Square Garden. And then those pictures even got published. Shout out to Split T Management and Tiger Johnson. They published her pictures. Those were her pictures. She shot Tiger Johnson. That's why I always show that clip, right? And I make sure they see that. And I'll be like, Tiger Johnson fight, because the pictures got published. I didn't shoot Tiger's fight. I shot Jahad's fight and other fights. I didn't shoot Tiger's fight. She did. And when I put those pictures out, Split T Management took those pictures and published them. And I was very, very proud. Very weird. I was super weird, Gumbo. I was super duper weird. Because a seed that I had planted not only had grown, it had blossomed. King Richard Sauce. You do have options. Yes. You do have options. That was my King Richard moment right there, right? All the shit that I talked, that I was popping, right? My baby in the 5th grade, right? Her father was the media guy that was running around on his phone. Now his offspring in the 5th grade had accomplished something. In the 5th grade at that, right? In the 5th grade, right? Had accomplished something. And that's why I don't even go hard on her. She'd be fronting on boxing. You see that? She's sleeping right now. If she wasn't sleeping, I would be like, yo, I'm about to go to the gym, right? Let's go do some boxing. She'd be like, nah, I got other things to do. I'm busy, right? I just let her talk her so you right, you can chill. You are so ahead of the game, right? You at the 5th grade, 10, 11 years old, you did a lot already. You interviewed a Hall of Fame. You're stepping. I'm not going to rush you. You already know the process. Yes, it is, Gumbo. It is, and I just reflect on that. It's weird. Gumbo is weird, right? It's weird. But when you put it in perspective as to, now I'm speaking, this is to all the dads, the fathers, right? I'm talking about the fathers like myself that you might have grew up in the hood, right? Quote unquote the hood, and you had obstacles that you had to face. Now as a man, right, with your own responsibilities and your own family, right, to see your seeds start to do the journey of the circle of life, and you look back on your journey and circle of life and you see yours, you be like, man, the things that my mother and my grandmother and grandfather and elders instilled in me, I am applying, and the cycle is being broken. So yes, that is a blessing. Weird. It's weird though. It's a weird blessing. But hey, what do I know, man? But shout out to Terrell Goucher, man. I would say, if you want to keep boxing, because you didn't lose that fight, brother. Former Olympian. He was a 2012 Olympian, too. Terrell Goucher. Still look good, man. Now, he was supposed to be a gatekeeper. That was like a gatekeeper fight, man. Elijah Garcia, they gave him the split decision, but he got dropped. Now, all the people, and I want to say this, being that I'm talking about a Cleveland guy. When Abdullah Mason was dropped, man, they was ready to, and it was a guy the other day, right? I was like, because that's another guy I said should fight that guy that Shakur down Shakur. I'm like, why don't he fight Abdullah, right? You guys just want him to fight Shakur after fighting all of these club fighters and cab drivers, guys that aren't even elite. But yeah, he deserves a Shakur Stevenson fight. And Shakur's ducking him, right? And I'm like, this is why boxing is really broken, because the people that claim to be experts and know the shit don't really know it. And then you have the quote unquote influencers who push these things, and they're supposed to know better, right? But how you don't know better, but you're with this, and but you know better. If you know better, you'd be like, yeah. Like yesterday, I texted people, and I was like, the game is broken because there's so much boxing on, right? I was like, there's so much boxing on. I was like, when you look at all the fights that was on, how many elite matchups was there? You hear what I'm saying? Now pay attention. Look, we talking about it. I said, how many elite matchups was there, right? On all these cards that we watched. I said, were there any elite matchups, right? Like we witnessed two good quality guys fight a couple weeks ago. Tank Davis, who was quote unquote an elite fighter, and Lamont Roach. That was a great fight, right? Because people thought Lamont Roach was going to be like a Cordell Booker or these other guys overmatched, but it ended up being a good fight. And then everybody was just like in awe. But no, you know what it is? When you're not used to watching elite work, right? Elite work. You don't get it. Lamont Roach is an elite fighter. He's an elite fighter. Let's not take that away from him. The guy's a world champion, right? But everybody overlooked it, myself included. But the only reason I overlooked it, because I'm like, I watched my man put hands on him. Granted, he was young. He was young at the time. But Jamel Herring got busy on him. So I'm like, and I know Mel kind of got brittle hands a little bit. He's not the most powerful dude. I'm like, damn, Tank is going to knock him out. That's what I was going on for that assessment. But he proved me wrong. He definitely proved me wrong. And as somebody that comes on a platform and talks this boxing, I always stand on it. I gotta say I was wrong. I overlooked you, Lamar. I overlooked you, but you gained my respect beyond. You stood in there. You were my dog. I'm not gonna let him out. He just walked. He's nice and happy. You were Brownie Brown. You see Brownie's little structure now? Brownie's like this right now. 9 months. He big head. His head is all big. He likes to rumble and tumble. That was you. You was like Brownie Brown. You remind me of Brownie. You have that neck. Like you could take a punch. Your shock absorber is good. But we got to see the rematch, because I think the rematch, you and many others are sparking Tank Davis. You guys are sparking him. That's why he's just quiet right now. It's Ramadan and all that. He's just chilling, man. Shout out to the 4 in the building, man. Hopefully I got 4 likes. I haven't even shared the content, man. I haven't even shared the content. But overall, yesterday was a hell of a day for boxing. As a fan, I didn't win no money, man, because I told you I took that kid. I should have bet I thought he was gonna stop Terrell Goucher. Other than that, my parlay would have hit, but I had him on the stoppage. He didn't stop him because Fondora stopped, Cordell Booker, and I had Kurt Scooby, who I knew was gonna blow the doors off of this guy. But hopefully, like I said, they get Kurt Scooby to fight one of these other guys. He called out Shakur. But the OTX card was good too. And I tell guys, a lot of guys, right? Yo, these are some of the joints that you should, as if you're a fighter, right? A lot of times fighters be like, yo, I wanna be on this level. I'm like, nah, bro, right now boxing is in a good state, right? Because everybody's not an elite fighter, but there's so many different leagues now and avenues, like the OTX, right? Now you're going to have the TKO league. And I was telling somebody this. I was like, the TKO league could be a mid-level fighter, club fighter's blessing. right? The pay is especially for them good. It's good for you. If you're a club fighter, right, mid-level type of fighter, yo, the TKO league is it for you, and you could possibly get one of those belts. But if you're an elite fighter, I would advise you don't even fuck with it. And you know you're elite, you're a stepper, what we like to call a stepper. You got the sauce. Nah, don't even fuck with the TKO league. The pay is it's not superstar pay. It's not elite fighter pay. I think it was what 20,000 for a 10 rounder or 8 rounder. Nah, that's not it. That's not it, right? Look, I'm gonna tell you why that's not it, right? Remember when I had my guy Joe Dini on here? Pay attention to this. I'm gonna give y'all the source, right? And he had an offer, right, for a 4 rounder for four racks. A 4 rounder for 4 racks. Now they want to give you 20,000. Did you see the numbers they was talking about? Now, if I'm getting a guy $4,000 off the street for a 4 round fight, no resume, nothing, why would I take 20,000? Now, these, if you looked at the TKO shit, they was talking about fighters being ranked in the top 10 and all that, making that low type of money. Like, nah, that ain't it, man. But to each his own, man. Like I said, they're gonna get a lot of guys, but there's other avenues out there right now. Like I said, the OTX and these other different fight leagues and stuff, man. How you know, where your options? You know what I'm saying? You do have options, but I know if I'm working with you as a fighter and we're going to the table and I'm like, if I think you're bigger than that as far as like your ceiling, I'm gonna tell you, nah, that's not it, man. You have better opportunities. Now, if you're an elite guy, if you're a Jihad Tucker type of fighter or Morley, we're definitely not entertaining those offers. It's no like look, you know what I called my nephew now, and I want y'all to catch this source. $1 Million Morley. I was calling him that at 10 years old, right? You know why? Because he's $1 million fighter. He's a 7-figure fighter, right? $1 million fighter, $1 million more. That's why that was his name. He's gonna fight for millions of dollars one day. That's the type of level of fighter he is, right? He's an elite fighter, right? So an elite fighter like a Marley, right? Why would we even entertain an offer where they was like, if you're the champion, look, their champions wasn't even making $1 million. I think it was like 750,000, which is good money. Don't get it twisted. That is excellent money. But if you are an elite fighter, that's not excellent money for you. It's not. You're worth M's. Danny Jacobs' voice, you're worth M's. You're worth M's. But if you're like a mid-level fighter, club fighter, that's great money. To jump on that, man. Yesterday when we was at the gym. We was talking that, but I didn't put that on the live. I was talking that. I was like, yo, because I knew all the fight cards was on. I was like, yo, the OTX is paying good. I was like, the OTX is paying good because another one of my guys was in there. I think you seen him on there. He made it back to the gym last night. He was doing the strength and conditioning, and I was teasing him. I was like, oh, you're back, huh? I was like, you're back, right? Because he dibbles and dabbles, right? He comes in, he comes out. So I said, oh, you ready this time? Oh, we're gonna go to the door and you're gonna run away again. I was like, yo, we're gonna get to the door, right? I was like, we're gonna get to the door. Not those doors either. Catch the ball. I want y'all to think I'm taking guys to. I was like, yo, we're gonna get to the door. You ready to turn pro and make this move. And then you're gonna be like, nah, man, I need a couple more. That's what I was saying. I was like, yo, bro, it's different shit out there now, man. Because see, some guys, right? And I blame Jihad for this. We laugh about this. I said, yo, bro, you made it look too easy. That's why I be teasing niggas, right? I was like, yo, they seen you doing it at 17, not really understanding what it takes, man, and who you really gotta be, right? When I was like, all these guys seen it, And it was like, cause Giles on the big stage, man, fighting. He was fighting killers, man. Let's call a spade, man. He was fighting killers, man. You know, God, Olympians, hitters, man, and doing this thing, right? And dudes is watching that shit, thinking, "Oh, I could do that shit too." He's only 17. No, you can't. You're not chosen. You're not special. You don't have that anointing. It's not that easy, man. It's not. It's not. A lot of you guys can't even fight in a club fight. I'm gonna be honest, man. Last night they had the Paramount was rocking. A lot of you guys couldn't even cut at the Paramount. Shout out to Star Boxing. They had a fight card. I had tickets to go down there, but I was like, do I want to go cover fights and be in that atmosphere when I could just sit at home and just, like I said, I had the laptop rocking, I had the phone rocking, I had the I was like, nah, I'm just gonna stay home. I'm gonna stay home, man. I just stayed home. But I was gonna pop out to the Paramount. The fights was down there. Shout out to Star Boxing. Great card. Matter of fact, let me see. I could play a knockout. Look, my guy from Profit. Let me post this knockout real quick. He had a hell of a knockout. Oh, it was like, oh, his knockout. I was watching everything last night. Let's put this up on the screen. This knockout. This knockout. I'm not seeing what's his name posted. It's Biscuit. It's Biscuit, right? That's his name. I think he spells it like that. The biggest blogger. What page is that he is on? Do you hear this dude snoring? Do y'all hear Brownie snoring? Brownie's out there snoring. This guy's unbelievable, yo. I mean, he is like, he's on his snore game right now. Brownie is different. Oh my God, this guy's like, if y'all could hear the snores that's coming from this guy, then I can't even find this guy's page, man. I thought it was like It's Biscuit. I follow him, right? He's the biggest blogger, man. Yeah, he was there. He posted it. Damn, I can't find it, man. Matter of fact, but I do follow Zay. I think Zay might have it. Let me see. Zay Flattery. I interviewed him too. Yeah, he got it up there. I'll go to Zay. But the Biscuit had the best angle, bro. Biscuit had the best angle last night, man. He did, Gumbo. He had the best angle. But I'm over here now. We'll pull it up over here, right? But Biscuit had the best angle. I watched it, Oh, here it is right here. Now this is a good one. This is it right here. He tagged it. Watch this knockout. This was at the Paramount, right? Shout out to the Paramount Star Boxing. I was gonna go down there. Me and Joe Dini. But I was like, nah, Joe, I'm good. Here it is right here. Look at it. Look at this. Look at the knockout.
Body head.
It's
getting tired. He's looking tired.
He fought at the Garden. You see that shot? It's buffering. I don't know. It's buffering. Terrible. Maybe a lot of people are watching. Good body shot right there. Zay's from Long Island too. He works at Profit. Him and Marley be working together. He trains a lot of people over there at Profit. But that was his stoppage last night at the Paramount and Star Boxing, right? Jahar got rounds in with him too. I think he's undefeated fighter. Good, you know. Um Going back to what I was telling the guy, I was like, yo, there's a lot of opportunities out there. But that is a hard fight right there. And I'll be telling guys, I'll be like, yo, you see the guy he beat down right there? You guys probably couldn't even get in the ring with him. You couldn't get in the ring with him, man. But you was watching Jihad and be like, yo, I'm ready. I don't even think you're ready for that. You're not ready for that level right there. But you was watching what Jihad was doing at 17, and then you think, yo, man, yo, bring me. I'll bring you, but you're not ready. You're not ready. You're not, man. So just pump the brakes, man. But I think now, though, what we got going on with all these leagues and different opportunities, there's an avenue for guys. There's an avenue for guys. Yeah, that's it right here. This was the weigh-in yesterday or 2 days ago. You know, I covered him at the Garden. He fought on the Garden on a great card. Give that a like as well. His opponent, quality guy, he went in there. He got stopped, but he fought the good fight, man. He fought the good fight. Now let me tell you this quick story, right? The guy that what's his name gets upset with, we had him set up, right? Because shout out to Joe LaGuardia and Star Boxing, right? They wanted to back one of our guys, but he got scared, man. Like, come on, this is why I talk a lot of shit, but I just stay humble. I'm weird. But we had got a guy an opportunity because he sparred with Joe Smith, one of our guys. Joe Smith, one of the Joe LaGuardia's breadwinners, right? And our guy did his thing with him, and they was interested in him, right? They want to do some business, but this nigga gets scared. Like, this nigga's scared, right? It's like, yo, dog, you can't. If you put in the work, and that's your opportunity, man. Like, the doors and the windows closed, man. You got to take your opportunity, man. But he got scared, man. These guys get scared. But he was in camp with Joe Smith, and they liked him. He was good. He was, if you go to camp with a world champion, Joe Smith's a world champion, and the people start talking about you, you got to take your opportunity, man. They seen something in you, right? But you got scared, right? These guys get scared, right? Jews from Bishop's Voice. This nigga's scared. They get scared, gumbo. Yeah, yo, guys get scared, man. It's boxing, man. You listen, man. Are you a fighter? That's why Coach Joe Dini be getting upset, man. Because Joe Dini was a fighter, man. I'm gonna do a Chronicles this week with Joe, and I'm gonna just let Joe just go crazy. I'm gonna get him going, right? Yeah, I'm gonna get him going about opportunities, and if I give him a call for a fight, Joe's gonna go in, right? Yeah, I got to do one of those Chronicles, man. When if he gets the call for a fight, all he wants to know is where's it at, right? Yeah, where's it at? How much he's being paid? He don't need to know the opponent, or not. He's gonna go in there and whoop some ass and ask questions later, right? These guys are soft, man. They don't have that mentality. They don't, Joe, because they're not. That's how the game is conditioned now. But there's a lot of opportunities out here, man. There's a lot of opportunities. Let's shift a little bit now, because I see a couple people done dipped off, right? I was waiting for the people to dip off before I get into this whole Yellow BZ thing, because I know a lot of these guys, they was over here spying, right? So on the hip hop front, man, Yellow BZ situation, but then we had the Sauce for Waka incident down there in Memphis. Him and his artists got sprayed up. Rest in peace to his artists. Got lit up right there by the where the Grizzlies play at, man. Yeah, now some would say that was a brazen act. Yes, it was. If you are committing a shootout like that, and then these are the guys that say, "Yo, man, why you always having a gun on you?" That's why. Look how society is today, man. It's crazy out there, man. It's crazy out there. That wasn't even the hood, right? That's downtown Memphis. Gumbo, you still in here? That's Gumbo, man. Gumbo's a truck driver. He's all over the world. That's considered the nice side of Memphis. That was downtown Memphis. Now, granted, Memphis is rough. It's rough. You know, a lot of hoods, a lot of gangs and all that. But that was downtown Memphis. It's not supposed to go down like that down there, man. You know, that's where the money is, right? The capital. But it happened right there. Brazen act. Sauce Walker was hit as well as his artist lost his life. Now, there's a video out there. I'm not going to play it. It was on Twitter. I looked at it. I was like, damn. The people, somebody was in the building. Like I said, it was downtown. It was right there by the FedEx Forum, I think it's called. And the person played the video. You see the dude sprayed, laid out. He was done. They got him. He was laid out, right? And the video, you see the paramedics. I guess they were trying to, bring him back, but you could tell he was gone. A lot of blood, he was gone, right? But this happened, like I said, downtown. The streets ain't safe no more. The streets is not safe no more. If you were having shootouts like that or being assassinated, gunned down, right? Not in the hood anymore. That was downtown, right? Where the money's at. It's not a good look, man. And Sauce Walker was also hit. I think he's in critical. Well, I think they said stable condition, not life threat. His artist lost his life. This is the hip hop world, man. This is the hip hop world. That's why, if you do have a gun and you have you're security, there's a lot of money out there, man. It's a lot of money. Like when I hang it all up, that's gonna be another one of my things, right? Because yesterday I showed you I did a little something, right? I don't really like dealing with the high profile guys. I do and I don't, but I got other things going on. But they pay the best. Don't get it twisted. But you see what they're up against. But a lot of times, listen, when you are security, right? Let me tell you this, right? And guys know you have security, and they know that you got somebody that got that on them. They go, listen, this is the game, right? Gumbo, if you're still in here and others, listen, I'm saying this to educate. This is for educational purposes. A lot of times, guys that are putting in that work like that are looking for, and they teach you this, right? Law enforcement teaches you this. High-end security teach you this. When you have security and armed security, whether they're professional, even if sometimes you guys have your homeboys, but I don't recommend that because your homeboys aren't licensed to carry. Get somebody that's licensed to carry, whether it's ex-military or licensed security, police, right? Get somebody like that, right? But most of the time when you have security like that, right? The guys that are out here doing these type of things, robbing guys and, in that situation, killing guys, they're looking for soft targets, what we call a soft target. A soft target is somebody who was an easy target. If they see you are equipped or you have a situation, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to fuck with you because they're looking for soft targets. They're predators, right? A predator is going to go after prey. If you are not a prey, they're not going to go after you. This is the game, man. Hopefully y'all catching that sauce, right? I'm giving y'all some real gems today. So if you're not a soft target, They're not gonna go after you. Hold on, let me. I want to do some marketing real quick. Hold on. Yeah. Do a little quick marketing. I just thought about it. I was looking. I said, yo, I got on a Wise Owl hoodie. Look, a little quick marketing. Members only. Y'all see it, man? Exclusive varsity jackets, right? But yeah, they're gonna go after a soft target. They're not. If you're not a soft target, 9 times out of 10, these guys ain't gonna go after that because they'll put it in work too. They don't want to go after nobody that is a quit, right? Yeah. Hopefully y'all caught that source. Because if you notice, right, sticking with that Source Walker thing, right? They were talking about how the night before they was in the club, right? They had security. Them same dudes that probably rolled out on them and did them like that, seen them in the spot. They seen them in the spot. This is the game, man. I'm giving y'all the game, man. They seen them in the spot, but they was like, nah, it ain't right. Like we ain't look. They was in there with niggas that was watching them, looking over them. So it wasn't the right time. And then they caught them the day after, and they didn't have security. And you see what happened. You see what happened. So a lot of times, man, roll with security, man. Just having security with you, armed security will diffuse a lot of shit, man. Because guys ain't really trying to do it if it's not a soft touch. But if it's a soft touch, they're gonna get you. They are. I was thinking about that yesterday. I had my shit on me yesterday. I ain't saying I keep my shit on me. I was working though, man. And I want to thank the internet because the internet helps me to deal with those situations, right? To be able to deal with trolls and because when you have a gun and you are securing, a client, you got to really be on point, man. You got to be on point. And I think the internet helps me to deal with that too. That I could be cool, right? You deal with a lot of trolls, guys coming on here talking crazy to you or typing crazy to you. You gotta be able to, laugh it off. And then you gotta be able to be like Doughboy, like, hey, you want this hit? You want this? Back up. Back up. But a lot of times, like I said, when those type of predatorial people see that you have protection, they're not gonna try you because they want an easy, smooth transition. And if you have security or you have guys that are, there to protect you, they're not going after you. They go after a soft touch. Studies show that. Look it up yourself, though. You can look it up yourself. But speedy recovery for Waka Flocka, or not Waka Flocka, Sauce Walker, and this guy. Look, man. If y'all want these, man, holla at me, man. You don't have to get this color. There's only 2 of these, man. There are only 2 of these on the market, right? I'm about to send mine back, right? I gotta send mine back, right? I gotta get the CEO on mine. Look, but these are fly, man. These are just like Avorexes and Pellies, right? There's only 2 on the market, right? Get your patch right here. You see the patch? Good quality stuff, varsity jackets. There's only 2 on the market. I'm about to get the CEO on mine right here. Get the CEO right here. Then when we start collecting these belts, you will see my different. I'm gonna look. I'm gonna throw my different patches on this one. Right now, I have the Sauce. Whatever first title I get as a boxing A&R that gets fighters signed. and works with fighters. I'm gonna throw my belt on here, and then I'm gonna get another one made too. But I will always keep this one because this is the original, right? Yeah. This is the original right here. There's only two out there, so these right here, these right here, man. I don't think I'm gonna make another one of these. It's only two, so me and my brother got these, right? The rest of y'all gonna get the newer ones, right? But that's why, like I said, my brother, when I do get the patches, I'm gonna just ship them off to him, and he can throw his patches on. So we will be the special ones, right? It's you guys should have got down when I told y'all, man. If you didn't get down, you won't have these. You won't have these, right? You won't have the CEOs, right? These are the official CEOs right here. You won't have these. Yes, look. You won't have these right here. But we do have others on the way. These are the originals right here. I had this on yesterday, but I was working, right? I was feeling good. Look, I was working. I had this on yesterday. With my primary. That's what you call your client. I had this on with my primary because when I be packing, right? Because I was packing yesterday. Y'all seen it. I was just like this with my guy, working a couple of hours, getting good money, man. And I was just making sure he was safe, him and his family. And I had this on right here because whenever I do certain jobs, I'm always going to promote my business. My business. Yes. I had this on. I had on my Murder One shades. I was just like this, right? I was professional security yesterday. And then y'all seen the remnants. I came back and I was running around. Me and Coach Reen, I want to got Coach Reen some stuff, right? And I put the envelope up. See, I got paid very well yesterday. That's why I had to scold her because I'm like, yo, Reen, man, what are you doing? That's a lot of money there. That's a lot of money. Don't play around like that. Gumbo and them spoiled to her uncles, right? They gave her a couple of dollars, right? And like I said, I had to go get change. I should have got the change. But she came out with the envelope. And I was like, man, what are you doing? Don't fucking do that. Like, you're flashing a lot of money. No, we don't do that. That money has to get put into the account. You're coming out with the envelope. The only reason I told you to take the envelope because I'm going to go get change and give you the money. But I shouldn't have gave you the money. But shout out to Gumbo and CW. They gave her $12 yesterday. She see your kids watch you, right? Normally she would have took the 12 and did something with it. She wanted me to put the 12 up in their account because she watched me put the other money in their account. So she said, put mine. Now, any other time she'd have been like, let's go here. And it's like money burns a hole in her hand. She would have had to get something. You see, she was ready to go to the ice cream truck. Oh, man. Nah, God, but leave her alone. Good thing she's sleeping right now. But I had my joint on, man. I said, Gumbo, you ain't going to outshine me. I was working with my joint on. I had something right here on my hip, right here, right? I was just like this. Working with my joint on, man. Looking real professional. But these are available, not these. Well, I can make another color. Whatever color you like, just hit me up behind the scenes. Have your security deposit. I'll make you one, but you won't get this. I thought about it, right? I was like, you know what? They're not gonna get this. There's only two of these colors that I made, right? Two. You can't get this, man. Any other color you want, hit me up behind the scenes. I'll give it to you. These right here, a limited edition. If you didn't get one of these when I first brought them out, you won't get. These are the CEOs, bro. You can get any other color. You can get black, red, green. I'm gonna do other colors. You won't get this one. I'm sorry. Like me and my guy was talking. This one right here, I said $350 and up. Remember? This is a $600 coat right now, man. This is an Avarex Pelly Party. This one right here. If you want me to make another one of these, if you be like, yo, I want the one I see you and your brother rock. This is $600. Don't wait. I'm telling you right now. If you wait, and Jihad becomes a world champion, this is going to be $1,000 coat. This exact one will be $1,000. I'm just being honest. And Gumbo, if you're in here, look, if you are in here, Gumbo, let them know the quality, right? Look, let them know the quality of this jacket, right? These are Avarex Pele quality. That's why. And I'm selling myself short by selling these for 600. I mean for 350. These are great quality jackets, man. But yes, that is the price, y'all. All right, so let's move on, man. Now this might get a lot of y'all upset, right? So yesterday I was on the Texas blog scene, and these guys they're talking about Earl Spence now, and I'm saying to myself, why are y'all putting Earl Spence in the mix? That's why I did all those videos, right? The names that these guys are trying to throw around are Earl Spence and Trap Boy Freddy. Because they're trying to say now that Earl Spence has something to do with it too. And I don't think Earl was that dumb. I'm just, I'm going to say it. I don't think he would be that dumb to go in on something like that. Right? But this is what the bloggers are saying. Ratchet TV and, many other guys down there. They're saying that EJ. And I'm saying, nah, he wouldn't be that dumb, right? He wouldn't be that dumb. And I hope, his brother, wouldn't even implicate him in nothing like that, right? He wouldn't say, yo, he put money in too, right? And if he does do that, and what they're saying, he said, you can't get mine for 1,000. Once I get my patches, you can get mine for 1,000. Once I get my patches, the price will go up. Yeah, they don't know. They should have got down early, man. Gumbo, they will never. It's only two of those. It's only two. I'm never making another that particular color. You can't get that. If you want that color right now, it's $600. Remember, I said they were $350 and up. If you want that color right there, that same exact style, I'll do it, but it's $600. They're not gonna get it for what you got it for $350. Because I only made two of those. I only made two of those right there. Because I remember I said, I'm about to surprise my brother. Because now I have jerseys. I have, I'm about to get socks. Watch, y'all gonna see. I'm gonna have the soft socks, right? But I got jerseys. And I remember Gumbo asked for the jerseys. And when I got the jerseys, my guy had the jackets. And I was like, yo. I said, I'm a surprise Gumbo. Gumbo don't even know these is coming. I got the jackets. I was like, yo. And my man was on me. He knew I was an ill dude. He seen how I put it together real quick, right? I was like, yo, I want this right here to be like that. He said, are you into fashion? I said, yeah, something like that. He was like, are you into fashion? I was like, yeah, something like that. I was like, yo, I need this, right? Yo, shout out to my moms, man. I am her son, right? I was feeling the quality of the what's the name, right? I was like, yo, I need this. You see this right here? I was like, I like that. They put that on there, right? I was like, I need this patch right here on this side, right? I was like, I want the back, right? He was like, yo, these are like Pele's. I was like, yeah. I was like, yo, but it's my name. It's my name, right? I was like, I don't want Pele on it. But I was like, we could put Pele in on it, and they think it's a Pele, right? He was like, exactly. And Pele's go for 6 or better, right? You absolutely right, Gumbo. You are absolutely right. I dig it, right? But then he put it together for me. I was like, yo. I told him the colors I wanted. Yeah, I'm coming with the socks next. I'm gonna have my socks. I'm messing with all the garment guys. If you are a sock dude, like I said yesterday on my live stream, hit me up, man. Let's talk some numbers. But see, the thing with a lot of these guys, right? All these guys are the plug, but they don't give you the plug price. And see, when you deal with me, I come off dumb. I come off weird and dumb, but listen, I know. So once you tell me something and I already know you're trying to give it to me, I'll be like, all right, I'm good. I'm not gonna tell you that. I'm just gonna be like, I'm gonna hear you out, hear out your offer, and I'm like, nah, I'm good. That's why it took so long for me to get my jerseys. And the jerseys are 150 and up, 150 and up. Place your orders. I got whatever with the jerseys. Talk to me. We talk back. Don't wait. A lot of you guys are sitting around watching me build. It's like you watch me build a media company. Now you watching me build a management consulting firm, mentor advisor shit, and you sat back. You guys respectfully are the weird ones, especially a lot of you industry guys, right? You industry plants and suckers. You guys are the weird guys, right? Because you secretly watched, didn't support nothing, just secretly kept watching and watching. As I kept building and adding on, you had more resentment, hatred, and all of that. Because not only did I build it, I kept putting the pieces together right on this in front of y'all. Still popping, still talking my shit. Watch when I come out with my socks, right? I'm gonna be weirder then, right? Weird, right? I'm weird, right? Look, it took everything in my power not to really say what I wanted to say to that guy. But I'm glad he said that because he showed who's really weird, who's really fake, who's really a snake, who's really all these other things, right? But I appreciate that brother for saying that because he's been wanting to say that for the longest. He's been wanting to, that's how he really felt. But when you think about it, when you look at who does weird shit, the person who actually tries to act like, and this is for anybody and anything in life, if you do something that somebody else is doing, right? Playing basketball or football or baseball, and you guys are in the same field, but you act like you don't acknowledge nothing that person does, what's really weird? Hopefully y'all caught that sauce, man. While y'all tap into that sauce, let's go with a sauce commercial. Shout out to my guy Action Jackson.
Going on is Carlos Action Jackson, aka King Dynamite Jackson. Straight out of Atlanta, straight out of Bad News, VA. And then I want to shout out Sauce Talk Podcast. Appreciate your love, man. All the love and support, bro.
Appreciate you, champ. Thank you.
Shout out to Action Jackson, man. Carlos Jackson. Good guy, man. Official in the game as well. But yeah, man. So Earl Spencer's name is being tied in with this. Now, a lot of you guys don't want to report on these things, but see, the good thing about a lot of you guys that sit around and talk boxing, that idol worship, y'all don't have to because the bloggers, the messy bloggers are saying it. And they can't hide, they can't duck that shit. But like I said, hopefully that shit ain't true. Because I'm going to tell you, if there's any truth to any of that, and Earl Spence was involved and he didn't make a deal yet, they're coming after him. Because that's what the feds do. That's what these authorities do. The bigger catch is a guy like him, if this is true. Right? Whereas Yellow Beezy was a good splash. But Yellow Beezy's a rapper, right? Right? Pay attention to this right now, man. He's a rapper, right? He got a notable name. But if they can implicate somebody else with a bigger profile and it can stick, you don't think they're going to go after that? That's why when I listen to these blogs, I was listening to this dude, he was telling me this shit. I was like, nah, that's chitter chatter, bro. I was like, I don't think that's true. I was like, I'm not even trying to defend him. I was like, because if that was the case, they would have snatched him up. Because he's the bigger name. the headline is bigger if he was to do that or involved in that. Right? I was like, the headline is bigger. He's the bigger name. That's what this is all about. Like how they did Big U and the bus out there in LA. And I was saying that they was like, oh, Big U was rat. And I was like, damn, if he was ratting and sending everybody up, he wouldn't have been the head of the what's the name. But he was the head. He's the big catch. It's all about him extorting athletes and doing all this, right? If that wasn't the case, it wouldn't have been about him. And now, his shit is looking crazy, man. I'm seeing a lot of the loose cannon clips that are coming out. You talk about self-incriminating. These guys was, there's a video out right now. I'm probably do it later. I'm gonna go to the spot today. I just gotta get there before 5 o'clock. And I'm gonna do it the Big U. I'm gonna do a Big U, what's the name? Because there's videos of loose cannon basically out here telling on how they was extorting or the fake checking, right? But one thing I can say about them, and I watched the song, Campbell say this, at least they wasn't, they was extorting rich people, guys that had money. They wasn't, extorting the poor. But they was they said that they was getting guys, right? Loose Cannon talked about, I swear I wasn't really paying attention to that. I gotta start getting on those type of lives. They're very more lucrative, right? There's money on the floor, right? This guy basically indicted himself with the Meek Mill shit. He said how they ran down on Meek Mill and he gave them their chain, and then they had to pay for it back. And they called, they was like, dude was like, I called Big U. I was like, we got it. And then they had to drop off the money. I was like, that's what you, crazy, man. Yes, I'm Gumbo. Gumbo right here, look, I'm gonna play that. I got, Gumbo. You didn't see my shit I dropped, Gumbo? Look, they're mad at me, Gumbo. But I don't care. I'm a blogger too. You know my saying, Gumbo. It's cool when they do it. I'm a blogger too, Gumbo. Look, they mad at me, Gumbo, right? They are mad at me, Gumbo, right? Because remember, I spoke about this many years ago. But now that Mace has spoke about it, right? It is what it is. They ain't really saying too much, right? But thank you for bringing that up, Gumbo, right? All right, look, right here. I'm going to play the whole playlist. Look, we working, Gumbo.
I want to ask him, was he running from 03? From hold on. What does this have to do with the fight, though, murder? It's mental. What you talking about? I like asking questions people want to know. Just so I understand, talk about. I'm a little confused with this. What does him flipping the car have to do with Mo3? How listed that? I don't know the story. That's what I'm asking you. So what happened? So you can explain me and the viewers that don't understand why you asked this question.
Like I said, when you are an idol worshiper, dick eater, you're always going to be in denial. The same way they was in denial about dude, being an alcoholic and doing other shit. The same people, they was in denial. But now, check the vibes out.
So, because I'm naive and some of the viewers, maybe what you're saying is that Mo3 and Harris has some beef. Yeah, street beef.
Damn, somebody sent that to me, but I guess that was like a form of letting me know. His brother, Yellow Beezy, has been arrested and charged with the capital murder hire hit of the guy who we just listened to. Mace wants to know if he was chasing him, right? his brother, I retract my statement. I said lover. This Friday I had a long work week. But his brother is being charged. They got the his and her. I retract that again. They have the him and him charms together, right? This guy has been arrested for the connection of murder for hire. Like, damn, Shaw, you've been on point forever with this shit. How did you know? So that is Mace. It is what it is. Dave, they steal a lot of content too. Shout out to them, Cam and Mace and, the other guy that they brought on. They steal shit. But yeah, so apparently it is what it is. It's saying it too, right? Earl Spence was tied in with a street beef with Mo 3. Rest in peace to Mo 3. Was he chasing him? I remember bringing this up many years ago.
How is my content looking now?
Internet dick eater.
Huh?
A Twitter dick
How is my
eater.
content looking now?
And if you feel like I'm
when
talking
they
about
do.
you, I'm
Real
saying,
weird.
if you feel some type of way, bust a move. You are a dick eater. But yeah, this dick eater, and I was like, yo, why didn't that car stop? That Honda Accord. It looked like a Honda Accord. I'm like, damn, if you see a car flip over like that, you're behind it, you're gonna pull over like, oh shit, man, is this guy or girl or whoever in this car all right? But it looked like me, they just went even faster. And I remember this particular dick eater saying, oh, but he's supposed to be a street nigga and a nigga that's official and all this. His explanation was, ain't no Ferrari getting ran down by a Honda Accord. It's not. That's why you see the Honda Accord took forever to get up there. But the Ferrari got up away from it, but the nigga drove so fast in it, he lost control, and the rest, you see what happened. Be like, yo, bitch, rock this, right? Yo, bitch, rock this. Maybe I said, his brother, though, you might rock it with your brother. Or your prison lover, right? Because he might be going to prison, so he might be somebody's lover. Pause, right? That's on me, baby. That's on me, baby. But his brother, right, rocking the same chain and shit, right, has been brought up on charges of murder for hire. Now, maybe, look, I'm just saying, right? If what Mace is saying is true, right, that, allegedly, rest in peace to Mo 3, did this to his love. I retract that again, man. I retract that. His brother, not lover. Why the fuck I keep saying his lover? But he did that to, his brother. He might have wanted beef. That's his brother, right? He tried to take his brother out, right? So, that's him and his brother who has been arrested for this. But my thing is this, hopefully his brother is innocent because we don't want to put that on nobody. But apparently the shooter, right, has said that he got paid, and that's who paid him. That Yella paid him, right? Now, oh man, he said I'm mad because he asked my last name. But yes, these guys were mad at me for reporting. They were mad. They were so mad. But look, are they mad at Mace for saying that? That's what Mace said. He wants to know. Are you mad at Mace? Of course not. Because Mace has a big platform and you are a dick eater. You're a dick eater. You're a eater of dick of men. Right? I can have that, right? I could place a call and I can run the numbers up and all that, but I don't want that. I want to be me. I want to come on here and pop my shit and see some of y'all in traffic and y'all look the other way. Or you bust a move, you run down on me. But come correct, man, because I'm definitely coming correct. Locked and loaded, hands is registered, man. Man, how is the content looking now, y'all? How is the content looking now? Huh? How's that looking now, man? It's cool when they do it, right? It's cool when they do. How am I looking now, though, y'all? How am I? Hey, thank you, Gumbo. You know, I'm just trying to get better. I'm just trying to get weird. I'm just trying to get weird, right? Because they said I was weird, right? That's all. I'm just trying to get weird. But it's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do, man. But you know, we're gonna keep an eye on this, man. You know, you got the big blogs talking that, man. That's what the big blogs are saying, right? We just reporting the news. By Shanewz, you know, you do have options, man. But appreciate that though, Gumbo. Hopefully everybody caught the sauce. One last thing, Matayan. I did not talk about it, but I had it in my title. The episode of Power. This season is good, man. Joey Badass, aka Unique, is back, man, with vengeance. I was gonna say yesterday because I watched it yesterday. But Friday's episode, Unique, is turning up the bodies now. I think he killed the plug. Well, not the plug. He killed the plug's cousin and one of the distribution spots, the Chinese spots, and he robbed them, right? And they don't really know it's him. Now, Kanan's girlfriend, Crystal, fine ass Redbone, right? She's seen him. Because remember, he robbed Kanan's spot too. He's out here on the warpath. And look, good thing Kanan and her moved. Remember? Because he was his shop was where he was resting his head at and everything, and he finally got up out of there. But had he not got up out of there, he might have been a casualty of war, right? Because he ran up in his spot. But Friday's episode, fire, man. A lot of killings going on. It's gonna get real dicey, real dicey, man. Very, very dicey. Because Unique is turning up the bodies, man. And you see the plug is ready to step up now. Because he's like, yo, my cousin got killed. And you don't even know who did it. I'm ready to demonstrate now. So you watch Power. This, 50's, he's killing the game, man. And then I believe, what's the name is coming back too? BMF. The BMF series is coming back. The last season. I think, Power's my shit too. I love it. I'm loving it. This episode was fire. Raising Kanan. Unique is turning up out there, man. He's turning up. He killed the lawyer. Remember not this episode, the last episode. He killed the lawyer, right? And I think they still don't know the lawyer's dead yet. They haven't really brought that out yet. But he killed one of the distributors. Took him out. Took him right out. Robbed him. Took all the work and the money, right? Then he also robbed Kanan at the end. Right? So it's getting real good, man. They don't know it's him. Because everybody still thinks he's dead. Remember, because he had the beef with his brother and he woke up from that. And he's just out here on the vengeance. Just out here on vengeance, right? And they have no clue because they think he's dead. He's like Ghost in a sense. Remember Ghost from Power? But he's the real Ghost right now because officially he's dead. He's dead. So I think next week's episode is going to be even better. I think it's going to be even better, man. And then we got BMF coming out. The BMF series as well. But yeah, that's all I really got for y'all. Thank you, Gumbo, for that. This was a fire live. Thank you. I'm just trying to get better. I'm trying to get more weird, right? We just want to be weird. We want to be weird, right?
Nice. 1, 2. Bring him back to the castle. Back to the castle. Yep. Move around. Yep. 1, 2. Back to the castle. Yeah. Work. Bring him back up. You got to bring your hands back up, though. Setting it up, coach. All right, let Jahar go now. Let Jahar go.
Obviously, Milwaukee gave.
The news by Shanewz. Just a little content, man. You know, it's all content, man. Please don't take it the wrong way. Shout out to Cigar Talk Najee. So the good brother said that I was weird, right? Well, this is what I responded back saying, thanks for responding. And your industry. I'm Shanewz. I just shared your experience, something that I really did in the game. Finding a fighter and getting him signed. That's not weird. That's me gaining experience, but I appreciate your opinion, soldier. So let me get into what I meant, right? Shout out to Cigar Talk, doing this thing in the game, right? But this is him right here, Najee, right? Cigar Talk, you see? Did an interview, right? He broke down something that he did in boxing or attempted to do.
Over here, let me work. I can help you. I can help the promotion company.
Bring it back to the beginning so you can catch his sauce.
So I was interning at Rock Nation. They just opened Rock Nation Sports at the time. I knew guys from music. Yeah. And I'm like, yo, I love boxing. I used to tell them, yo, I love boxing. Like, let me work over here. Let me work. I can help you. I can help the promotion company. And the guy who was the head of Rock Nation Sports, Dominican, his name is Juan Perez, OG Juan.
Oh, man. Shout out to him, man. I didn't even know he was Dominican. I got to get him on the podcast.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to Juan. I used to tell Juan, like, yo, I can help. And he was like, yo, you know what? If you want to work here, find me a boxer that I can sign.
Find me a boxer that I can sign.
So I went to every image tournament, like, looking and scouting, and I'm trying to find, like, who's the guy? Like, I need a job right now. This is back in the day.
I need a job right now.
The two guys that I found that I really liked, and I was like, yo, they could be stars, is Shakur and Boots. And those are the two guys that I went to I was going to all the amateur tournaments, and they stood out. So I sat with both of them. I was like, yo, listen, I'm with Rock Nation. I'm trying to get y'all signed, blah, blah, blah. And I went to Virginia with Shakur. I spent time with him and blah, blah, blah. So later down the line, this is around the time I told you I was pivoting. Shakur just happens to DM me. I interviewed this guy.
Right. So he was attempting to get fighters signed. I shared his story because I'm like, damn, I actually did that with, you see the man right here, Jahad Tucker. But he responded and told me I was weird. So my response to you, Najee, Cigar Talk, if you would have got Boots and Shakur signed, I guess that would have been weird, right? Make it make sense, my guy, but keep doing your thing, though, man. Industry shit, man. Guys are different, man, for real. It's weird. But I just shared your content, though. That made me weird because I identified to that story of getting the fighter signed because I actually did it. What you attempted to do, but it's cool when they do it. Got it. How is my content looking now? You won't
let yourself down. Somebody else can let you down. So sorry.
All right.
Jai, how did the connection
the news
with you
by Shanewz, just a little content, man.
Did Jay Prince call you one day and say,
it's
hey,
all
Jay
content,
Prince?
man. Please don't take it the
so,
wrong.
All right. I'm gonna sum the story. Basically, Jackal Fitness, right? One of the guys who, he like a media, all the underground media, you feel me? Go around, so he knew Mike Prince, Mike Prince, Jake Prince, their family. So now, tell Mike Prince about me, then boom, Mike Prince, he followed me on Instagram. He see all my stuff. All right, cool. We get to the gym. I'm on the phone with him. This is like a week before COVID. You remember when Shakur was supposed to fight the guy who fought Loma? This is right before COVID started. They're supposed to fight like.
Speaking of the big elephant in the room, man, you signed with Top Rank. Mm-hmm. Give me a little backstory as to how you even linked that up, man. At 17 years old, signing with Top Rank.
Jack,
how was that for you?
Shout out Jacko Fitness. That's the only answer I can give you. He made his calls. Shout out Mike Prince. Mike Prince got me in touch with Jay. Jay, like we saw, he got me in touch with Top Rank, and we made it happen. Mob ties. See me?
Hey, you know, and he just explains to you, no, hey, there's no other way to explain it like that. You know, shout out to Jacko Fitness, man. Official in the game. I appreciate him. You know, solid group of brothers, man. I'm glad they was able to link you up, man. That's positive shit right there, man. It's good to hear that.
Oh yeah, and Jacko, he always show love, especially coming out of LI, around the same area. So when Jacko, he made the call, and we talking to Mike Prince, I'm like, oh shoot, man, I'm really about to get signed, you know.
Backpack killer, you see him? School you. yeah. Yo, this is the real Mr. ESPN right here. You know the vibes. Yes.
Pick up your phone, bro.
Yes.
You're missing a few members, but you already know team stay strong.
Yeah.
Shout out my man Jacko.
Yes.
Big Apex in New York, my son right here.
Yes. Screw you. Yo, victory. It's a celebration. Bitches. You know the vibes. Yeah. Yo, we in Vegas. Vegas. Yeah. Uncle Jay, cousin Mike. You know the work, Chris. Work, body. Nice, good body shot. Body shot, Chris. Good body shot. You know the vibes. Another day in the office. All-star right here. You know, another day in the office. School you. That's right. All-star. Braun. Yeah. Another day in the office. We just getting that work.
Simple.
Yeah. Road to greatness. J Prince Boxing. Top rank. ESPN. You know the vibes. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, he's sweating. Down, Narina. Down, Narina. I'm taking a video. You want to be famous? Run down.
Yes, I'm taking a video. You want to be famous? I think that's the problem. A lot of these guys want to be famous, and that's quite weird to me. But hey, what do I know? You know, you do have options: media, marketing, management, merchandise. But hey, what do I know? Yeah, I was playing, man. I told you I was coming back to the city of Cowboy, Tulsa, Oklahoma, seek and destroy. You know the vibe. Yeehaw!
Shout out to Shanewz Boxing.
In the arena, look who I got. Ring girl.
Hi, Arena. Miss you, girls.
Hey.
This is a Source Experience. The news by Shanewz. But what do I know?
What's going on, Coach? What we looking like? What we looking like, Coach?
Gave the audience 7 rounds of a boxing clinic.
That's right.
8th round, we took them out.
That's right. Yo. John, over here. yo. Zaga, Slime Master.
Yo, man, shout out to Sauce Talk, man. We in books and shit now.
Oh, man, what's that feeling like, man? First press conference, you walking out, the people are noticing you, saying, yo, he's in that book. He's in that book, man. What's that feeling like, man?
You know, it feels good, man. You know, I actually want to get it going for this fight, man. Get it out the way, you know?
Yeah, definitely, man. But, yo, just describe that first press conference, you know, 2 days out. You know, you was on the main stage, you know, Q&A. What was that like, man?
It was fire, you know. It was real fire. Shout out Top Rank. Shout out Bob Barron, man. Shout out Sauce Talk. Shout out Jay Prince, man.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, and we here, you know, and we gonna keep going. We gonna keep being here. We gonna keep going up.
Yeah.
No cap.
That's a fact, man.
No cap. And we know we still slamming, man.
Yeah, man.
Still walking down, man. We here.
Man. Prudential Center. You see where it's at. Downtown Newark. Shakur Stevenson card. Yo, everybody was talking about my man was in there dapper, man. Yo, you know, got the, what is that, velvet? Got the nice suit on, velour, you know, got
This is your boy Jamel Superfire Herring, and I'm with the best in the world, the best from Long Island, the Sauce Talk Podcast. Hey, we doing big things. Shout out to everybody out there in LI as well. Superfire, salute.
Yes, you know the vibes.
Hey guys, this is Tiana Tuimu-Helua. I'm a top-ranked knockout, and I want to give a shout-out to Sauce Talk Podcast.
Thank you. You know the vibes.